We had a lot of deals in the pipeline. We just weren't getting them over the finish line. We put the right person in the seat. We did better with our leads and everything changed. Improving lives by delivering creative real estate solutions. If you're not experiencing consistency in your lead flow or in your deal flow, we need to talk what you're doing on the lead flow process and how you're managing your leads. First, and I default to this quite often, if you're familiar, if you watch anything, I always ask who's managing the leads. And is the person that's managing the leads have the right mindset? So what does that look like? Do they believe that the person on the other line of the phone could be motivated in selling? Could they benefit from the services you're providing? And I get it. The person that has to take the calls is taking a call at 8 in the morning and potentially 8 at night. And we're asking them to come with the same urgency and level of quality conversation mindset for each call. So with that in mind, it's possible they're not going to be at the top of the game all the time, but it's required if you want to be exceptional and if you want to cut out the inconsistencies in your business. So it really does just start with who's answering the call, at what level are they committed to providing quality service with each engagement. Now, when you identify that, then you can start to track the right activities. Am I getting enough leads and those type of things? But at the end of the day, the right person is critical. Who's actually talking with these sellers? And then it's obviously the process. Are they invested? Are they really diving deep into the black swans of sorts? Are they really trying to discover what is it that the seller needs? And can we provide meaningful value and service that would help them move forward in the process? Believe it or not, you can extract more deals just by having the right person asking the right questions with the right mindset. It's critical. The next thing I want to talk about is you've got to make sure that whoever's taking these calls and as you're talking with sellers, you got to make sure that they're not looking for layups. Oftentimes the problem is I see investors and wholesalers and our franchisees, if they're not optimizing the results with each lead, it's because they're looking for the layup. They're looking for the person that calls up and says, I'm ready to sell my house. I just inherited it. It's in bad shape. And at the end of the day, I just want to get out of it. And oh, by the way, I'm going to give you a discount. I want to sign an agreement today. The worst thing that can happen to somebody that's on your team is they get one of those calls early on in their process of learning and developing as an acquisitions or a lead specialist for your company. And I say that sincerely that it could be the worst thing because then they might identify that that's what a lead sounds like. Now we know that when you get enough into the business, you're spending enough on marketing. It's not uncommon that somebody calls and really says, I inherited this home, I really don't want it, and if you can give me a fair price, let's just get this done. And they identify very quickly that this is somebody that can benefit from your services. But most of the leads don't sound like that. Most of the leads take a lot of nurturing and care and take follow-up. They too can benefit from your service, but it takes that time, that relationship. It takes identifying what ways you can provide most value. It takes a series of calls and visits, and oftentimes there's some days in between. Sometimes it's a couple weeks or whatever. The mindset is not, I'm looking for layups. It's important that whoever's talking with the sellers sees the big picture and they understand that most sellers don't sound that way. Most are going to even posture a little bit and be reserved to tell you everything up front. And if you can go in with that mindset, you're going to actually extract more deals when you have the mindset of, I can help everybody and I just need to identify how I can help this individual, even if they're posturing that maybe they're not ready to make a decision, or maybe they're not that serious, or maybe they throw out a price that's ridiculous. It might be above retail. A lot of families we've been able to help that postured that way, but after further discovery, you're in fact able to help them. The final thing is you already have deals in your pipeline. You just got to get better at follow-up. What I mean by that is now you have the right mindset, the right person calling. There's people that are warm and lukewarm and cold that if you stay in touch with, there's deals in your pipeline. I've joked and said, investors, if you just swapped your pipelines, your reservoir of leads, so to speak, guaranteed you'd each find a deal in each other's pipeline. Why? Just a new set of eyes, exploring ideas, having additional conversations. Oftentimes, best practices have a second person, a different vibe, asking slightly different questions to do a follow-up with somebody that's been previously contacted. Oftentimes, that extra touch point helps discover additional ways in which you can provide value and service and identify ways in which the seller can benefit from working with you. So follow up and diving deep into your pipeline is the final point there. You're going to extract more by simply going deep and digging into your pipeline and extracting more. Many people try to solve their issues in their production and their inconsistency in the deal flow by putting more money to marketing, but you need to first make sure you're optimizing, tracking, and improving your lead management process, and that will lead to consistency before just spending more money on marketing.